Harmony Hills Family Ministry Podcast. It's our hope that as you join us in these conversations, you'll feel encouraged and excited to pursue discipleship in your own home. I'm your host, Traci Hall, and today we have Ben Stokes back with us. Welcome.
Glad to be back.
It is Missions Month.
It is, man. I love Missions Month.
Yes.
Is this our, how many years? No, because
I haven't been here that long.
I did the first one. I've been here 13. So I think it's like 12 years of
Sweet.
Missions Month.
That's a long time.
At Harmony Hill.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And Ross knocking it out of the park.
Oh, yeah, he's doing a great job.
It was awesome, man. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Preached a great sermon last week.
Mm-hmm.
And no, man, I'm enjoying it. Loving it.
Good. To get us started, we both have had some different mission trips, yours longer than mine, but I wanted to just share a story about your favorite mission moment from the field. So go ahead.
Oh man, my favorite moment on the field, there's, so many of them. But are you talking lessons learned on the field or just memorable?
Funny, lesson learned, how the Lord showed up, whatever you want to share.
Okay. I'll go middle of the road then. Okay. But I think it leans more towards lessons learned on the field. One of the main lessons that I took away from Africa was it happened on a day when we lived out in the village, way out in the bush of Africa in Niger, and so we were in the morning time. I would help our friends work in the fields, and then in the afternoons we would go out and we would story and we would teach from the Bible, and so we were doing that on this evening, and it was just one of those times where I'm teaching, and I didn't always teach. Sometimes my friends taught. This one I was teaching, and it was just I've just laid an egg. My preaching professor used to say that, when you just bombed it. It just seemed like it didn't go well, right? And so after it, I'm like, there's really no one paying attention, I think. And so we talked a little bit with some guys and drank some Thai tea going back to the truck. And then 3 kids run up to me. And they said, "Hey, before you leave, I want to tell you the story that you just told." Oh. And they all quoted it and then shared what they had learned about the story. Oh, wow. And it was in that moment, God just said, "Look, you never know who's going to be listening." Right. And so just be faithful to go and to teach and leave the results up to me, because you never know who's paying attention. And you don't ever know when those seeds are scattered, when will they take root? But it was a cool time where it's walked away thinking, man, that bombed. Right. What is we kind of wasted our time here. And then those 3 kids came up and recited the story. And this is no one in this village knows who Jesus is. And so it's an unreached people group. And so it was that's one of the lessons that I still will remember that comes up weekly almost, of hey, you never know who's listening when you teach.
That's so cool.
Or when you live, really.
Yeah.
Living life.
That's true. I sometimes, when I talk about obedience, I say, you just have to open your mouth. The Lord will take care of the rest. But if you don't speak, then he can't speak through you. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Until you speak and you look at the circumstance, you're I don't think that went very well. But
well, it did.
Yeah.
My favorite, I have lots of favorites. Anywhere from the lessons I learned being stuck in Niger. We have a whole podcast about that, though. But one of my most favorite ones is when I was in college, I went to India a couple of times. And one of the times it was me, Andrew, and another guy, just the 3 of us. And somebody in my life was just constantly saying, it's just 3 of you. What's the point? You're not going to be able to do very much. You're kind of just wasting your time, wasting your money. And I kind of left discouraged, with that on my mind. But then we were on our way to India, and we had a layover in Germany, and we ended up sitting beside another group of people. It was a woman and 2 men, and we just were talking to them, and we're like, "What are y'all doing?" And they were missionaries on their way back from somewhere. Really? And they were telling us stories about how encouraging their trip was for them, for the people that they were ministering to, how fruitful it was. And I just felt the Lord say, you're not just 3, you're part of an army. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so it's always stuck out to me. If I ever feel lonely or discouraged in ministry in any way, it's I'm part of an army. So
That's awesome. Yeah, right there. What are the odds?
yeah.
As you were talking, it kind of like in my mind, right? I was thinking, how did we both come to that? What had to happen in our lives to bring us to this point of where we were experiencing things like that? And because it just doesn't happen. Right. And I think that's a good way to start the conversation of, hey, how do you be missional at home? It's almost like backfilling and planning. So here's where we are. And so how did it get that way? And are there any points of application for our families at Harmony Hill? Yeah. And so I know it's kind of hard to process it on the spot, but how did you wind up on that airplane with the army of Christ around you? I mean, you just don't wake up and that happens. So like, was it people in your life or a sermon?
So I remember Miss Dorothy. She was a sweet little lady who was she went to the church that we went to when I was a kid, and she would go on little mission trips. And I say little just because she's little. She would go on mission trips, and and
little Miss Dorothy on her little mission trips has impacted you in a great way. Love it.
Sounds like the beginning of a children's book. No, she would go on these mission trips, and she would come back and she would share. And I just remember thinking, like, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, that's it. That's what this is all about.
So in your mind, that one story, that's what God used to start that.
Yeah.
And you were just locked in right there, and you were like, okay, I'm going in.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I was like 10 years old, and I just knew.
So how did it progress from there? I'm at 10 years old.
Yeah.
You're a little older than that now. So
just a little bit.
What, fill in the gaps there. I mean.
Yeah, I don't remember much. Prayer. I knew what I wanted to do, and that was my goal. When I was in high school, I learned about mercy ships, and I thought I'll be a physical therapist, and I'll volunteer on mercy ships. I can't talk.
So how did you hear about the mercy ships? Just like through at school?
Yeah, I picked up a book in the library. It was like a Christian fiction book in the library about a girl who worked on a mercy ship, and
awesome.
The Lord just kind of like laid these random things in my path just to.
And so you get the. You learned about the mercy trips, and then were you at a church? And you said 3 people were on the trip.
Yeah.
So did your church provide opportunities for you to go?
Yeah. So it was actually our pastor, me and Andrew, who went. And the way that happened was I was praying for an opportunity to go somewhere, and I was like, I don't know. You know, a little old girl from Dieball, I don't know how to do this. And the very next day, my pastor was like, hey, you're going to go to India on a mission trip. And I was like,
what?
Okay, let's go, and I had to raise a lot of money, and I was like, if the Lord provides, then I'm supposed to go, and he provided. So.
Well, all right, so let's break it down, right? So we got little Miss Dorothy,
yes.
Who goes on little mission trips, and she came back and she told her testimony, and you, God used that to capture your heart. So there's testimonies in there. There's someone that went prior to you and gave a testimony, captured you. You read books about it.
Yep.
And that opened up your worldview more about global missions. And then your church provided opportunities for you to go. And then you had a proactive pastor. That was really good at recruitment. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, so we can work with that. I think my story is somewhat similar to that. Somewhat. I was not locked in at a young age. So I wanted to hunt and fish. That was my ambition every day of my life. That was my goals all the way up till I was probably 14, 15. That's what I want to do with my life. So had no plans of moving overseas, and God started putting people in my life that just started awakening. I heard sermons here at Harmony Hill. I was raised here at Harmony Hill. So I heard the sermons about all the missionary stories that came in, and that started piquing my interest, but it was always like, nah, but it's not me. Right. And then I went to seminary. I want to know more about the Bible, so I figured that was a place. Makes sense. I moved there. Yeah. And then a conversation with Brother John at the end of my seminary led me to an internship at Arlington. And it was like God used people from that point to lead and guide me and Melissa to Africa. And so it's crazy, right? So I think what I wanted to highlight is that there's different trajectories, but there's still commonalities. And I think that's what we can tie into of like this discussion with So what does your home look like? How do you help your kid to be there? Because here's the deal, though. Like, we have our parents, as parents, we're both parents, and to our parents listening, we have to be proactive. We have a role in that, and mine did as well. And so, but it's going to be different for different contexts and different families. And so, I guess all that to say, there is no silver bullet. I would probably highlight, first of all, from this conversation that just came to my mind, is that you can't be scared. Like, I never had, so my family, I came from a Christian home. We taught the word. We were here at Harmony Hill every time the doors opened, all of that. But there was not a lot of intentional missions focus in my home. Like, there was, my mom is an evangelist. She's going to tell people about Jesus. Yeah. But like the global missions, that type deal, didn't have a lot of that. And I think that's the case for a lot of us. And so we start off intimidated by it. So it's like, I didn't do it. No one did it to me. So I don't know how to take that first step. So, I think that's a charge to, for us as a church, or all our families, is don't be scared to take that first step. Yeah. And because we want our kids to be on those airplanes, to be in Africa and see those boys walk up to our kids. And so we have to take that first step. And that's what came to my mind. What else, like, can you, as we're processing just our stories, do you have any advice for families, like, once they take that step, of what that might look like? Maybe of what you have done in your home, what that has looked like in your home. Yeah, I mean, our first step has just been to, like, follow our girls' giftings. You know, Sadie is all about those that are less fortunate and those that are hurting, and she's always asking to give money to homeless people. You know, she's like, Mom, just give them your cash, I'll pay you back. Yeah, man, give it all of it. Yeah. And so we do that. We pray for our missionaries, the ones that our church sponsors, the ones that we're friends with. We read biographies about missionaries. There's like lots of children's books that are written about the missionaries of, 100 years ago. But it's just a common thing that we talk about in our home. That's how we just start. Yeah. And so we have some of those resources here at church. And that's one thing that we want our families to know about, is that they can go to the mission. I always butcher that, but it's the mission area in the lobby, right? Did I get that? Sorry, Ross. It's a great mission area where you can find, like you're saying, you can find our missions cards for our missionaries. And Ross will be there on Sundays, or someone that works on his team with him, and can walk you through that. So that's a great first step, like you're saying, is to teach our kids, hey, these are the missionaries that we support. These are their children. Yeah. And then this is how we can pray for them, and just set those up in their routines. Yeah, I think that's cool that you pitched that idea, and it came back to books with you. That's true. Yeah. So you're kind of following that trend. A lot of families might be like me, and not really know where to start in that, like reading a biography, or even where to find a biography. What did it look like for you how do you pick one? I guess that's a simple question. How did you go about picking one? I think I read a biography about Amy Carmichael at first, and then I thought, well, this is good. I want my girls to hear this. So I just looked on Amazon for a kid's version. We also have a kid's version of it's one book, 10 different missionaries in the family lounge right now for this month that parents can come look at, and we'll give a link to purchase. And then from there, you can just look at like other purchases that people have made. All right. So if you're listening, taking notes, it's first the missions room, get the cards, and then on down to the family lounge, right? To get the books. That's right. Yeah. And it's so awesome. So we're trending. It's crazy, like how we're trending with your story. So we also have opportunities for kids to go on mission trips with their families, like to Houston, right? And that's, as you were talking about that, my mind started trying to brainstorm, okay, what are opportunities that our church are offering our families? And you can also look into going that through Ross and our missions ministry. and going to Houston on those trips, and that will help the global build the global perspective as well.
That is true. We took Sadie on one. She was
I forgot about that.
10 at the time. I might have told this story. I hope I haven't. But we were at the Hindu temple, and they have this huge statue of one of their gods. It's the same exact measurements as a statue of Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel. But it's there. It's huge. All these people are like worshiping it, and Sadie is just she's just standing there, just fuming mad, just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I wish I could tell them the truth, because we weren't there in that moment. We weren't there to witness to them. That was later in the day. But yeah, it was really cool to see how I think the Lord was like planting something in her heart that day, because she was not okay with them worshiping that false god. So
it kind of goes back to her compassionate heart. It's like she was like, they're missing it. They need to see the real God. And and that's offered to our families, is that you can go on those tours, and like as parents, you can help them understand that and process that. And it's so, like, as we're talking, it's no one thing. It's look for ways within your home, like whether it be the cards of our missionaries, but you have to be intentional, right? And again, back to the first step, looking for those ways that fit with your family, because some families have more time than others. Some have little kids. Some have kids that are moved out of the house. And so there's the gamut. And so what I think a good first step with all this is to sit down maybe with your family and go, hey, what does it look like? Or what would you like our family? How would you like our family to serve our community? You never know what your kids are going to say. They might have been thinking about it. They might have an answer. And you get through that question, I think you get to hear the heart of your kids. And of course, you're gonna have to coach them along the way, right? Like, well, we could pray for our friends. And there's other things. There's other tools out there that can help you, right? Like the Joshua Project and things like that.
Yeah. But as you're talking, I'm thinking we kind of talked to our girls about having a life group, which this isn't missions, but it is ministry. And Remy like lit up, and she was like, we can like serve them food. And I was like, is that something you want to do? Because that is not my strong suit. I don't want to do that at all. And every week she gets in there, she lays out this spread for these college kids, and she makes it look nice. And like, she just comes to life, and it's like, okay, like this is something that we can continue with her and bring in other people in. And
for not everyone is in a life group that meets at home.
Right.
But that's just an example of that. That's her heart. She wants to serve. So serving lead is actually fueling her heart for missions, right? And so not everyone is in a life group that meets at home. Some of them are here at the admin, but we've talked a lot about global missions, but especially this month. So what does it look like to love your neighbor? And it doesn't start here, right? We're reflecting God everywhere we go, but that is a great way to start with your neighbor. We have to start with our neighbor, and invite them in and explain to your kids, like you did with Sadie, why we're doing it, and maybe pray before they come, and just open up your home for a meal and get to know your neighbor with the goal of having gospel conversations with them.
Yeah. So another way that we can open up our homes is to join in the partnership that we have with the Angelina College soccer team, because there's so many different nations that are represented there. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's a great example about how God is bringing unreached people groups here, even to our own town, like you said, and we have to be willing to open up our door. The question we have to wrestle with is the same one that the Israelites did. Are we going to hoard the good news? Are we going to hoard salvation? Or are we going to, like God in sending Jesus and Jesus sending his church, are we going to pursue the unreached that God is bringing? It's simple. It can be as simple as opening up our door and inviting them to come and eat a meal. Because I mean, just imagine if you flip the script and imagine how uncomfortable it would be to be in a town that you don't know anyone. You don't know how to navigate it. You don't know how to navigate the stores. You don't know how to go pay a bill. You would be so hungry for someone to just invite you into their home, not only for a meal, but just like, hey, you need help? How can I help you? And again, it goes back to those simple questions. But yeah, like you said, it starts with opening your door. And by doing that, your kids are watching.
Yeah.
And they are learning and they're seeing your heart. And so it's just like all of it together, with the books, the opportunities from the church, the praying, putting the cards of our missionaries and being intentional to pray for them, all together. It's not just one thing, right?
Right.
But I think the key is intentionality.
Yeah.
And you have to be obedient. And and ending with always having that open door, because you never know who God is going to lead your way. And I think we can close in this, right?
Yeah.
Here's what's awesome though. Well, another thing I learned from Africa living there is that when you follow God on His mission, when you have your yes on the table, everyone is affected. Everyone walks away knowing God more. When you make the decision, and I think that's the whole point of this talk today is let's just get started.
Yeah, just try.
Let's just say yes. So what is the first step of obedience look like? And once you start taking that, your kids will be affected. You'll be affected. The people that you're ministering will be affected. You'll learn from them and they will learn from you. This church will be strengthened by you just saying yes and opening up your door and inviting people to your home. And it seems so simple. So why not? Let's just start doing it.
Why not?
So, but yeah, I think remember that the missions area in the lobby is here to help.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to, if you have any questions or you start taking those steps and you're like, this is confusing or it's not working and I need tips. That's what Ross is here for and his team and anyone on staff.
That's right.
We want to help you navigate and take those first steps.
That's true. Yep. Well, I think this is full of good information for our families. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us on this episode. We hope you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.